Okay, welcome to episode 1. For this lesson, I want to get you familiar with some harmonies that are common in samba and bossa nova music. A lot of times people call these jazz chords. Some of these harmonies can be intimidating for people, and I want to take some of the pressure off of it and just kind of show you what some of the shapes are and get you set up so that you can play these chords very easily and so that you can go quickly from one chord to another in any key. So first things first, if you know your bar chords, we can get you started from what you know and then extrapolate from there. I'm going to be using mostly what I'm going to call E shapes and A shapes. So if you know your E major chord here, and if you know how to transpose that up half steps with a bar, I'm going to call these E shapes. So anything that has the bass note on the E string. And similarly, A shapes. Anything that starts here and you can transpose up with a bar and the bass is on the A string, I'm going to call these A shapes. In Brazilian music, we often play with our fingers. We play finger style. So a lot of the chords that we're going to be playing skip strings. You know, if you strum a chord like this, I'm not skipping any strings, I'm using all of them. And in Brazilian music, when you play with your fingers, it's easy to skip strings. So you place your thumb oftentimes on the bass or one of the bass notes, and your other 3 fingers up on the higher notes. So instead of playing this, I could play something like this, and it sounds the same, right? I'm playing the same notes and I don't have to bar it. So what I just did there is I placed my first finger here on the G, my 4th finger here, that's another G, it's an octave shape right there. And then I placed my 3rd finger here on the 4th fret G string and my 2nd finger on the 3rd fret B string. So these are the same notes that we're playing on the bar chord, except I'm skipping this one. And I'm skipping that one, right? So out of 6 notes, I'm extracting 4. Now, if we want to add notes to this, I'm going to start by taking this note here that's an octave. That means that it's a repeat, right? So if we're playing a G here, this is a G here. So first I want to turn this into a G major 7 chord. I'm going to take the octave and I'm going to bring it down just a half step. And now I have this shape. That's a G major 7 chord. So instead of this, I have this. And I'm playing that with my thumb here and these 3 fingers, my index, middle, and ring on the three notes that are higher sounding here. So that's your G major 7. If I want to make this a G dominant 7, all I need to do is take this 7 here and lower it an extra half step. So instead of here, I'm going to play here. It changes my fingering a little bit. So now I'm going 1st finger here on the G, 2nd finger, same fret on the D string. Then I'm using my 4th finger on the 4th fret G string and my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret B string. And you get that. So now you have your G dominant 7 and your G major 7. And I'm going to show you another one. If I take this dominant 7 and I lower it yet another half step, I get this. This is called a G6. So to go from that G dominant 7 to that G6, we have to change fingering again, but not as much. So if you notice, my 3rd finger and my 4th finger are going to stay the same, and I'm just going to switch my 1st and 2nd. See that? So my 1st finger that's on the low G here is going to move to the 2nd fret D string right here, and my 2nd finger that was on the dominant 7 is going to take the place of the 1st. So they're going to do this little switch thing here. So now here you have your G dominant 7 and here you have your G6. So now you got G6, G dominant 7 or G7, and G major 7. So without getting too in the weeds about why these chords are called what they are called, that's going to go out of the scope of this class. I want you to just remember these shapes and these sounds, and maybe just understand it in terms of it being a different sound. A G major 7 sounds different from a G dominant 7, sounds different from a G6. So that's it for this first lesson. All these chords that we learn in G, we're going to learn in another key, and I'm going to tell you why we're doing that and how to use this knowledge to help you learn songs more quickly and even come up with your own songs. But we'll pick that up on episode 2. Don't forget to click on that button to watch the next lesson in the series. And of course, if you already have a handle on the material, you can pop around. You don't have to watch these in order.